This is the journey to One Africa. Hey everybody, this is Mika and welcome back to Swahili Nation. Today, I'm here to share a little bit about one country in the continent that is making secret but also strategic moves in the economics to make sure that it's becoming one of the powerhouses in Africa and East Africa as well. So today I'm going to talk about Tanzania and the strategies and what it has been doing actually to become one of the powerhouses in East Africa, but also Africa in general. This is very important. Though Tanzania is facing so many challenges, Tanzania is facing so many things, setbacks, set stones, but yet Tanzania is making way forward to make sure that it's creating the infrastructure for the better economy. It might not happen today, but it's surely going to happen tomorrow. It is very important. In the continent, there's so many bad things are happening. In our countries, there's so many things that we're struggling with, but also it is important for us as Africans to talk about the positivity of our countries and our nation. Because when you look at the Western medias, it doesn't talk about these positive things. They always talk about negative things. It is up to us as Africans to actually talk about the positive things that are happening. And today, I'm going to touch my country. I usually don't talk much about my country, but there's been a lot of things happening for the past 10 years that it shows the direction of the country. That as a country is actually going to become the superpower in East Africa. I know our neighbors, Kenyans, we always have this competition when it comes to economics, and Kenya has been a superpower in East Africa for a long time, but I have a good news. That chance is soon coming to Tanzania because of these strategies and because of what has been happening in Tanzania at large. So the president of Kenya himself, William Ruto, he announced this in EAC Heads of State Committee. He recognized and acknowledged the Tanzanians' trade performance, which is disrupting the status quo within the East African community. Tanzania Commercial Center Dar es Salaam has dethroned Nairobi in trading of goods and services, and it is now dominant integration trade value at $12.1 billion in 2023. So he said, today Tanzania has overtaken Kenya, and I must commend them for the progress they're making, said Ruto, speaking at the EAC Heads of State Summit. So these are some of the things that Tanzania has been doing. And if you've been a good follower of Swahili Nation, I think you have seen a lot of videos like this as sharing once in a while to show you what has been done on the ground. The first thing that Tanzania has done is enhancing transportation network within the country. Infrastructure of the country, it has been totally transformed for the past 10 years. And the first thing that I want to talk about is SGR Tanzania. SGR Tanzania is standard gauge railway spanning from Dar es Salaam to Mwanza via Isaka. The SGR is said to revolutionize transportation in Tanzania, fostering economic growth, regional integration, and sustainable development by providing a modern, efficient, and reliable transformation link across the region. The SGR will unlock numerous opportunities that promise to accelerate Tanzania's economic growth, enhance regional integration, and improve the livelihood of the millions. The SGR is a significant upgrade from existing narrow gauge railway system that has long been a bottleneck in Tanzanian transportation network, spanning approximation from 1,219 kilometers. The SGR is designated to support train traveling at speed of up to 160 kilometers per hour for passenger services and 120 kilometers per hour for freight. This modern rail system will drastically reduce travel times, enhancing safety and lower transportation costs within the country. For businesses, the SGR means faster and more reliable delivering of goods. The railway will facilitate the movements of raw materials to industries and finished products to market both domestically and export. This is especially critical for Tanzanians beginning mining and agriculture sector, which rely heavily on efficient logistics to remain competitive. For example, the transformation of minerals from the Lake Zone to Dar es Salaam, a journey that currently takes several days by road, will be significantly shortened, reducing wear and tear on vehicles, minimizing losses and cutting down on transportation costs from days all the way to only hours, with a cost estimated of around 7.6 billion US dollar. This ambitious product is not just about building a railway. It is about laying the tracks for Tanzania's economic future. In accelerating economic growth, the SGR is expected to contribute substantially to Tanzania GDP by improving transportation efficiency and reducing logistic costs. According to the report by the African Development Bank, improved infrastructure can boost GDP growth by up to 2% annually. 2% annually. The SGR will direct support key sectors such as agriculture, mining, and manufacturing, which collectively contribute over 50% of Tanzanian GDP. For instance, the agriculture sector, guys, which employs about 65% of Tanzanian workforce and contribute 28.7% to the GDP, will benefit immensely from the SGR. The railway will facilitate faster and more reliable transportation of agriculture products from rural areas to urban markets and ports. This will improve access to market and is expected to increase agriculture productivity and reduce post-harvest losses, which currently stands at the 30%. The second thing in improving infrastructure Tanzania that have done, Tanzania just built JPM Bridge. This is one of the longest bridge in the continent and is #1 in East Africa and Central and #6 in the entire continent of Africa. The bridge spans 3 kilometers along with 1.66 kilometers of connecting road. It is milestone as Tanzania announced a completion of 3-kilometer JPM John Pombe Magufuli Bridge that connects the country with neighbors like Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, and Democratic Republic of Congo. The JPM Bridge refers to the Kigongo Busisi Bridge, officially named in honor of the late President of Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli. It is 3.2 kilometers road bridge across Lake Victoria, Gulf of Mwanza, connecting Kigongo and Busisi. The bridge is the longest in East Africa and Central Africa and 6th longest in the continent. It's a part of Tanzanian Trunk Road, T4, and increased 35 kilometers of connecting roads to the city of Mwanza. The bridge actually costs more than 700 billion Tanzanian shillings, which is equal to $300 million, and it's fully funded. Guys, this is the part you need to remember and to really grasp by yourself. It is fully funded by Tanzanian government. So these are a couple things that will happen. You know, this bridge is actually already completed 100%, and this is what it's going to do to people. The first thing is going to reduce travel time and improve connectivity between these two regions. The bridge drastically cut travel between the Mwanza to Geita. It used to cost 2 to 3 hours to just cross from one side of the lake to another side of the lake, but now due to this bridge, it's going to use only 2 to 3 minutes. From 2 hours to 3 hours, it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes. In enhanced transportation, making it easier for people to access service, markets, and other areas. Improve access to Mwanza and the country's second largest city expected. The second thing it's going to do is going to boost regional trade and economic activities. The bridge is catalyst for inter-regional trade, especially for commodities like gold, cotton, and fish, linking Geita productivity sector to Mwanza commercial market. Geita is actually one of the places that a lot of gold is being found. This is where mining is happening in Geita. So this bridge is going to connect. The World Bank predicts a significant increase in regional trade volumes after the bridge opening. A new market models on Dar es Salaam Kariakoo is being developed to capitalize on the increased movement of goods and service. Another thing it's going to do is job creation and tourism. Construction of the bridge created numerous jobs with the focus of employing Tanzanian youth. Over 5,000 youth have been employed directly and indirectly. Improved road access is expected to boost tourism in Lake Zone as it becomes more accessible to visitors. And this is the symbol of legacy. The bridge is named after the late President John Pombe Magufuli. This project actually initiated by him, whereby the country president of Tanzania, Samia, used to be the vice president. He started it, and mind you, that is being fully funded by the taxes of Tanzanian people, by the Tanzanian government. So it represents a milestone in advancing social equity for the Lake Zone, fulfilling a vision of improving connectivity and access of residents, particularly those in Ireland. The bridge also symbolized Tanzania's commitment to infrastructure development and regional integration. Another thing that Tanzania is doing is road networks. Right now, if you come to Dar es Salaam, one of the biggest financial city in the country, you'll find all the roads in Dar es Salaam it is actually under construction. Why? Because, there's expansion of roads because of the connectivity, and it's because of the business. Tanzania has invested heavily in its road network, including both major highways and federal roads, facilitating regional trade and internal connectivity within the country. Another thing that Tanzania is doing is actually improving airports. For the past 10 years, there have been a lot of improvement of airports in every single region of the country. And right now, as I'm saying, there's a Msalato International Airport is currently being built in Dodoma, the capital city of Tanzania. And this is going to enhance city connectivity and boost economic growth in Tanzania. The airport, located about 12 kilometers from the city center of Dodoma, will feature around 3.6 kilometers runway capable of handling large aircraft like Airbus A380. It's being developed in 2 phases, with the first phase focusing on the runway and terminal building, and the second phase dependent on the future demand. The project goal: these are a couple of things that this airport is going to do. First thing is going to boost economic growth. By improving connectivity and facilitating trade, the airport is expected to drive economic development in Dodoma and surrounding areas. It's going to enhance regional and international connectivity. The airport aims to attract more tourists, facilitate business travel, and promote foreign investment. Remember, this is the airport that is going to be international, not domestic, but one of the biggest airports in the country as well. But also, it's going to support the government reallocation. A couple years back, during the time of JPM, John Pombe Magufuli, he decided to move the government from the main financial city, Dar es Salaam, to Dodoma. So as a result, Dodoma has been increasing, Dodoma has been developing, Dodoma has been a safe place. Even myself, I had to reallocate to Dodoma because there's just so many opportunities in that city, and it shows that Tanzania is definitely not going to be the same. Another thing that Tanzania is doing, it is the increase in energy capability. All right. What Tanzania is doing is this. I know you guys, you've heard about Nyerere hydroelectric power project. All right, this is the project is actually being built by Egyptians, so that is kudos to Tanzania, because what we need to see in Tanzania is one African country collaborating with another African country. This hydroelectric power is a large hydroelectric dam and power station located in Rufiji River in Tanzania. The project, which is nearly completion, is expected to have an installed capacity of 2,115 megawatts and generate 5,920 GWh of electricity annually. It is owned and managed by the Tanzania Electric Supply Company, called TANESCO. The project is also known as the Rufiji Hydroelectric Power Project. This project basically is going to be a game changer in the country of Tanzania. Why? Because the impact, once fully operational, it will generate more electricity than Tanzania's peak demand. So the demand of Tanzania's electricity is going to be way beyond that. And to be honest, the good news is that this project has already started here in Tanzania. There have been some couple of backlash from the Western countries about, the environmental pollution and all those stuff. But we know, every time when Africa is trying to make a move and trying to, bring about development to its people and to, to the country, they always stand up and start, opposing what is happening in the country. But well, Tanzania is in the right direction, because very soon Tanzania Tanzania, it'll be bright all over the country. Let there be light. If Nyerere hydroelectric power is going to produce more electricity than the demand of the Tanzanian people, that means there will be the improvement of industrialization in the country. That means there will be improvement in the business, not only during the day, but also be done during the night as well, because the light is right there. Another thing that Tanzania has been doing is gas pipeline. Right now, if you come to Tanzania, most of the cars, public cars and public transportation, they are actually using gas instead of using oil. Why? You guys remember during the war, I mean, the war is still happening between Russia and Ukraine. The price of the oil, it went all the way high. It went all the way high, and it was almost impossible for our people to consume. But you know what? Tanzania right now is heavily invested in gas pipeline. Why? Because we have a lot of gas in the country. A gas pipeline from Mtwara to Dar es Salaam has increased gas-fired electricity production to 64% of the total contribution to a more reliable and cleaner energy mix. This is the clean energy, and this is where we want the world and our countries to go. And the country is blessed with gas, so right now the cars are using gas. So you know what? You can increase the price of your oil, but you know what? We have gas, and we'll use this more natural and cleaner energy, and our people will be sustained. Renewable energy. Tanzania is also promoting renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, further diversifying its energy portfolio. And talking about gas pipeline, there's also have been a gas pipeline between Uganda and Tanzania. There's been this collaboration and partnership whereby, you know, there's a gas line, you know, connecting the two different countries. So this is the transformation in energy sector, specifically in the country of Tanzania. Some of the impact on trade and regional influence is that with improved infrastructure, Tanzania is becoming a preferable gateway for landlocked East African countries like Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and the DRC, as well as countries further like Zambia, and so on and so forth. It has also increased trade. The enhanced transportation network and the energy supply are facilitating both domestic and international trade, boosting economic activities and attracting further investment within the countries. Regional cooperation. Tanzania's infrastructure investment and strengthening its role in region cooperation initiative like East African Community EAC and the East Africa Power Pool, solidifying its position as a regional leader. But number 4, digital economic development as well. So in Tanzania, while still developing the country, Tanzania is also investing heavily in digital infrastructure to support the growth of its digital economic, which will further enhance its competitiveness. In conclusion, Tanzania strategic infrastructure investment are dividing economic growth, attraction foreign investment, and positioning the country as the key regional player in East Africa. Tanzania, what it has done for the past 10 years is just tremendous. It's within the period of 10 years, the infrastructure in Tanzania has been totally transformed. You know, there's a lot of tensions going on in the continent. There's tension going on between Rwanda and Burundi, Rwanda and Congo. There's tension going on between, you know, Sudan. There's tension going on between Ethiopia, Eritrea. There's tensions going on in Somalia. Okay, tension going on in Kenya as well. And even tension going on here in Tanzania. Yet, Tanzania has managed to transform 100% in infrastructure. 10 years back, we did not have SGR. Tanzania did not have SGR. Tanzania did not have all these multiple airports. Tanzania did not have, you know, all these bridges that are connecting one region to another region. For example, the JPM Bridge is not just going to connect Tanzania, but it's going to make it easier for DRC, Rwanda, Burundi, all those countries together, and even Uganda as well. Infrastructure is what makes easier for the country and for the people to move freely, to do their business, to do transportation, because we depend and rely on one another. With these few things that Tanzania has managed to do, or is still doing up to this moment, it is easier for us to project where Tanzania is heading. Tanzania is heading towards Tanzania is heading towards the right direction. And a couple years from now, Tanzania will be a superpower in East Africa, but as well later on in Africa in general. So the goal is not for one country to become the superpower in East Africa or Tanzania. The goal is for the continent of Tanzania to become the superpower among all the continents in this entire world. The goal is not to work individually. The goal is to work collectively and to transform the continent of Africa. So if Tanzania is making these developments, if Kenya will make their own developments, if Congo will do the same thing, if West Africa will do the same thing, if South Africa will do the same thing, then what will happen? The economy of the continent will boost up all of a sudden, and Africa will become the superpower in this continent. I know you might think that I'm dreaming right now talking about this, but it is possible because the projection is showing that the superpower in this world, the future superpower in this world, is actually coming to Tanzania, is actually coming to Africa. Why? Because we have everything it takes for us to prosper. We have everything it takes for us to transform the lives of our people. But one thing we have to make it clear, we need to more rely on the inside and not on the foreign support. We need to really look at the inside and do things on our own. We can collaborate, we can partner with them, but we need to move this house. We need to build our own house. Whoever feeds you controls you. This is not the time for us to receive aid and loans from them. This is the time for us feeding ourselves. This is the time to find the food for our own people. This is the time for us to strengthening the economy of our countries for the sake and the betterment of the next generation. So Africa, what do you think? Where do you think Africa will be 10 years from now? If Tanzania managed to transform its infrastructure for the past 10 years, what Africa can do in the next 10 years. If we have done it, Africa, we can do it. If Tanzania has done it, the rest of the continent can do it. We need to collaborate with one another. We need to move together towards the change. But one thing that is drawing us back, the tension that is happening in the East Africa between Congo and Rwanda, it is affecting the entire continent of Africa. Because if your neighbor is not at peace, you can never be at peace. So we need to lay down our guns. We need to shut down our guns. We need to stop fighting with one another to let our people and our countries focusing on developing our continent. We cannot build infrastructure and then tomorrow we have wars. We are ruining all the infrastructure that we built with a lot of money, because that's what is happening in the continent of Africa. We cannot move forward if we take 10 steps backward. We take 2 steps forward and then we take 10 steps backward. We cannot afford to do that. It is a time for transforming this continent. It is the time for our people, Africans, to live a better lives in their own continent. And it is the time to stop the nonsense that is happening in our countries. I'm telling you, if the countries are improving this much, and if we stop fighting with one another, if we stop all these ridiculous things that we do in our countries, if we stop sabotaging one another, and we focus on developing our continent, I'm telling you, the future, the present, the matter of fact, is looking way better than the past. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Tanzania is taking the right direction? Let me know about your country as well in the comment section, and I highly appreciate. One Africa, one passport right now.